I'm so thrilled to be here today. I'm freaking excited, actually, to be honest with you. Today is Sunday. It's Sunday night. Absolutely love coming on here just before the conference to do a speaker spotlight with you. And today I get to bring on not just a speaker at the conference, but somebody who I personally have worked with and a dear friend of mine. I consider her a dear friend. I started first noticing her online when she started showing up, posting about what she does, and I just felt really drawn to her, and I'm super excited to be able to have her be a part of this event. I personally feel like the people who she attracts, they are there because they're supposed to work with her. And I had her come to a retreat that I did. It was earlier this year. I don't remember exactly which month, but it was phenomenal. In fact, so many people came to me after she spoke. She did some hands-on interactive practices right at the retreat, and it blew people away. People who've been doing this kind of work for a long time. So I'm way freaking excited to bring on today's speaker, Rebekah Anderson. If you want to check the comments, you can find her on Instagram and give her a quick follow so you can see what I'm talking about. But if you are on Connect Utah, which is a big networking group here in Utah, if you are on any of the healing networks, you're going to be really familiar with this face. Not only is she a rock star model, but she's somebody who really, really genuinely follows her intuition. She's a human design expert. Today, she's going to be sharing some things with us. I'm going to be doing just a brief interview with her about inner child healing. And if you've done any work around inner child healing and you feel like you've got it all, I want to invite you to stay on today and listen in while you're, in a bubble bath or gardening or, getting ready for the week, doing some meal planning or dishes, whatever it is that you're doing. Just kind of have us out on the counter or whatever so that you can listen in. This is such an important topic, and especially for women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Don't want to limit it to that, but I'm saying especially for, okay? This is going to be an experiential journey that she's going to be leading people through at the conference itself when she speaks there. This is all happening on October 18th in Sandy, Utah. I will put a link up in just a moment so you can read more about the other speakers and classes that are going to be there as well. But I want to let you know about Rebekah first. She's a Reiki Master. She's a trauma-informed somatic practitioner and a human design guide who believes in the power of self-expression, music, movement, play, and community as pathways to healing. She invites others into a sacred remembrance, meeting and embracing their inner child, reclaiming joy, and coming home to themselves. Rebekah's work is a celebration of connection, embodiment, and love, offering spaces where the soul feels safe, seen, and heard. Without further ado, let's just bring her on right now. All right. Woohoo! Hey, girl.
Hi. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'm like getting teary-eyed already. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I am honestly so excited to have you on. Before we do go into anything else, I want to have you is there any corrections there of what I shared that need to be made or anything else that you want to add to that?
No corrections. What I just want to kind of explain as far as the Energy Healing Conference goes, because this is one of the things that I love, is it is called an Inner Child Healing Experience. So for those of you that are able to make it to the conference, I just love to just like dive in and have it be interactive. So for me personally, I'm not somebody that day that's going to like lecture or speak to you. It is engaging, and we're going to practice and heal in community together. And so it's just literally my favorite thing to do. And so it's so beautiful to do it in a space with other people, right? And so, yeah, I'm at 2 p.m. and I'm so excited. So yeah, just to reiterate that it's an experience and we're all going to like interact and engage together.
I love that. That's awesome. And thank you, because there are some people who they prefer a lecture style format that's very structured, but that is not what your class is going to be. So tell us, why have you decided to do it the way you're doing it?
For me, I think the benefit, especially with what we have with social media and online and chat GBT and all the things, right? I feel like if somebody wanted to learn or get information about what inner child healing was, there are so many resources. There are things they could read. There's things that they could research. But I want people to experience the benefits and to experience it, and not to just learn what it is, but to take something home with them, to heal a little part of themselves, to give their inner child a little extra love. And so I want it to be, practical, that it's just not gathering information, because I really do feel this day and age, they can find information lots of places for sure. So I want them to experience what it feels like to have an experience with their inner child.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna take this down to the nuts and bolts. What is inner child healing?
Okay, so the concept in inner child healing, there's IFS out there, which is called internal family systems, and there's lots of different angles, right? And so the angle that I go with, that I love, I like to have things be as simple and as understandable as possible. You can go very deep, right, with anything. And for me, inner child healing is just getting to the root cause. The work that I do with people is kind of like your younger self, and there's different ages, but we'll just start with one. So say I'm taking somebody through an inner child healing meditation, which we're going to do at the conference. So I'm so excited. But I will take you through this meditation, and you are able to meet your younger self. And again, it's whatever age you show up. Some people, their 4-year-old self shows up. Some people it's 9. Sometimes it's a teenager. So, right, I always tell people, like, we just start and we work with where you're at. There is no right or wrong. There's just awareness, right? So when we meet that younger self, that child, we get to just have a conversation with them. Sometimes for me, like I said, I do it in meditation. We can also do it in journaling and letter writing. There's lots of times where I will have people write a letter to their younger self, and also have their younger self write a letter back to them currently now, right? And so it's basically just opening up this dialogue and this conversation, but in a safe space. So for me, you talked about how I'm a trauma-informed somatic practitioner. For me, safety is the key, because our body reorganizes when it feels safe to do so. So I always, number one priority is creating a safe container. So again, if we're doing a meditation, we're going to get into a safe space in that meditation, so your younger self feels safe to come on in and engage with you. If it's journal writing, just in the environment that we're there, we're gonna, do some grounding, do some safety. And it's just this dialogue of, just being curious of, what did that younger child long for? What was it that they needed? And then with inner child healing, the idea is that now that we're adults, and we can reparent that inner child. Because a lot of times, and I'll give myself as an example, there was this particular wound that my younger self had. And there was this thing that I longed for from one of my parents, right? And I just longed for it, and I felt it, and I felt the ache, and I felt the pain. And then as I learned more about inner child healing, I was like, I may never get that. Right? I may never get that. It's this concept of, but I can give that to myself. I can give myself these things. And it's interesting. Normally, the first thing that the younger child longed for or wanted is just unconditional love and belonging and acceptance in some form, whatever language people have used. But that is, generally speaking, I'm just getting, that's it. That is, with the clients I've worked with, and again, there could be anything, but it's generally speaking, that's it. They just wanted to be loved unconditionally, or they wanted to belong, or they wanted to be accepted for who they were, fully, from their parents or from a teacher or from whoever. And so it's this process of uncovering that, and then giving that younger self that, and asking. And literally, I have had people that are like, I can't, that's not possible. I don't feel like I can give myself that, because they're still in this hurt, wounded place. And so then it's all about like taking people where they're at. So if that's the case, then, you know, I would just be like, okay, but do you desire it? Like, is that something you want? Is that something that you think is possible? You know, and so we just start where people are. And I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's okay if right now you can actually not love that younger self that way. So for instance, if that was the case and we were doing like a one-on-one session, I'm big on co-regulation, right? So co-regulation is, you know, one person has this regulated nervous system and we're able to help regulate somebody else's. So there have been times where I have maybe stood in for a mother or something and held people in my office why they cried and why they felt and why they had that longing. And so, you know, we do the best to give it to ourselves, but this is why I love healing in community, right? Because we are relational beings. We're wired for connection. And I believe that we suffer in isolation and we heal in community. So
Absolutely.
that's the beginnings of inner child healing.
I love that so much. Well, and to kind of go along with what you were saying, what I've learned recently, and this is just like a kind of a personal aha, but like when you're doing inner child healing, it's not to like put blame on a parent or a person that was in your life. And I think some people actually try to avoid inner child healing because they can't put their person, their caretaker, their role model, their idol, whatever it is, as like a point of like at fault or that they didn't do something right. And so sometimes they avoid that. Your job is never to like put them as a bad guy. And I love how you really are very genuine and wise in taking all of that to the next level. I feel like you're really careful and considerate in how you help people's paradigms with their stories and help them to evolve. And it's blessed my life so much. I'm so freaking grateful for you.
Oh, thank you. Well, and one of the things that I love to say is, right, because this can apply in so many different ways, but let's just take inner child healing, right? Like let's say somebody's had a really hard childhood or a hard experience with a caretaker. So you know, it doesn't mean that we don't acknowledge, because like you said, we do get to acknowledge the hurt. In the inner child healing, we can acknowledge the hurt. If somebody remembers in inner child work that they were abused, we definitely are going to witness that and call it what it is and call it abuse and say that it was wrong, right? But when we're talking, like you said, about a caretaker, because you're right, there's people like, oh, but like in the work sometimes I have, but oh, I don't remember my childhood being bad, or oh, but I love my parents, and I'm like, it's okay, yes, I know. And so I just let people know, especially is that I believe in any area of life, but let's just take our caretakers, for instance, that we're all doing the best we can with the time, the money, the resources, and the support we have. So I like to put all those things out there because, right? And then it's like, okay, this is where we're at now, and what can we do with it? And like we said, it's about self-awareness, right? And so it's okay, this is where I'm at right now. How can I heal this? How can I give myself what I need? And of course, if there's something that's really, really hard, then, you know, working on that's a separate thing too, working on that relationship or forgiveness. Or sometimes there are people that have had to like cut off relationships with people, you know, if it's been like harmful or not safe, for instance, right? So it's just like, that's the other thing too, is I think it's not like a one size fits all. And that's why like I love it, because it is so individualized. Everyone's experience is so different. And you talked about like using the intuition. That's what I love about it. It's like, I love to just like meet people where they're at and to be curious. And it's not a one size fits all. It's not, everyone's circumstance is different. Everyone's child is different. Where everyone's at right now is different. To what degree they've done healing work is different. And so, yeah, it's just an opportunity to just be curious. And like loving.
I love how much you show up for people though. You know what I mean? Like like you really have a lot of experience and you've gathered all these different tools to help people with this. So I don't know. I'm just like inspired by you.
Thank you. Well, so like you said, so I'm a Reiki Master, And I'm a trauma-informed somatic practitioner, so I specialize in trauma in the nervous system and inner child healing, which is what we're going to do at the conference. But that's the thing that I love, is when you have like, you know, different tools and different modalities. And we talked about intuition, and I believe for me that like my magic is in the moment. Yes, I have skills. Yes, I have life experience, but I believe that one of my gifts is just in the moment, being able to be present with what is. And because I am a body worker, when I have permission, for instance, to do Reiki and to tap into somebody's body, then I really can tap into their body and their experience and their energy and what's going on. And it's like, whatever tools we need, we can like weave it in, right? It's like, oh, maybe we need sound today. Maybe we need essential oils. Maybe we need to move our body. Maybe we need to do a meditation, right? So there's just so many things available to us. And that's what I love, is just like, if as I think healers or practitioners or guides, like I like to be wary of people getting stuck in that box, right? Like, oh, to fix this XYZ, right? And I even just use the word fix. I don't even believe we're broken. I don't think we're broken and we need fixing, right? It's just, oh, we have these life experiences. Possibly we have these trauma responses, or we have these triggers. And the thing I love about somatics is about building the capacity to be with life, right? Because there are some modalities that are like, I need to fix or pathologize things, or I need to like get rid of this or never feel this again. But we know that like we are these spiritual beings having a human experience. And so somatics is like, it doesn't mean I'm not going to have a hard time. It doesn't mean, oh my gosh, my nervous system is actually always going to be regulated. That's not going to happen. But as you build capacity, it's like your body knows like, oh, I'm going to feel this. I'm going to move through this. I'm not going to die. I'm going to be okay. And it's just building capacity to just be with life moment to moment, daily, as it unfolds. So that's what I love about somatics.
That's awesome. So now I just want to ask you a question. Like, let's say that there's somebody that's listening to this, whether it's live or maybe they're watching it later on the replay. Let's say they've never really done any inner child healing work before, but they're curious. They present themselves in a place of like, I have curiosity around this.
Yeah.
What would be some like maybe beginner type, steps that they could take to kind of prepare themselves to either come to the conference October 18th, or even just to step into inner child healing work?
Okay, I love that you asked this question, because we've talked about this, and you mentioned at the beginning, and you know this because music is my thing, and I'm sending you songs and playlists, right? But part of my healing, music has been so important for me in my healing. Music is so powerful for me. So I have multiple different inner child healing playlists. And one of the things that I think is the most beautiful, easy thing to do, it can go multiple ways. You can do mirror work with yourself. So whether when you're getting ready in the morning or at another time, a handheld mirror, and listen to songs. And we talked about this. Anybody that follows me on Instagram and sends me a message, inner child, then I'll send you my most requested playlist so you can use it for this and get ready for the conference or use it personally. So there's multiple things that are easy starts with this list. So the first thing is the mirror work that we talked about. And it's just this opportunity to just look at yourself and to love yourself. So this playlist, most of it is actually like what you would consider probably love songs, right? To your person, to your partner. But I invite people to listen to it as if you're singing it to your younger self, right? So it's this love song, love affair with yourself. And it's just beautiful. And so it's just a way to start feeling like, again, with awareness, notice what comes up. Notice, do you resist? Do you have grief? Do you have sadness? Do memories flood? So it's totally like, again, just being aware. So that's one way we can do it. Another way is if you have access to pictures of you as a child, look through while you're listening, or pick one. Maybe pick one where there was a time when you realized that you did. Maybe there was a really hard event that happened at a certain age, or something that you went through, or maybe you remember a certain age being like really awkward and sad or whatever. So you can take that picture and listen to the playlist, right? And then the last way is just literally, if you're a feeler, and you can do all these, that maybe you lay down, sit up, whatever's comfortable, hand on your heart, close your eyes, and just feel it, and just feel what comes, and imagine hugging your younger self, imagine holding your younger self. So that is one of my favorite easy ways to start.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. I really love it so much. I recently took a sound healing class where we were in person and live, and one of the guys showed up and he had a shirt on that said music is medicine. And I read the shirt and I was like, I felt that. So like
Yeah.
this playlist that you have, it is such a gift. You've sent it to me before. I know how special it is. So I'm so honored that you're going to be able to send this out to people. It's so easy for them to get it too. All they have to do is send you a quick little DM on your Instagram. Your Instagram is right here in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and put it on again, actually, so that they have
Perfect.
it.
Thank
You
you.
just look it up, empowered_by_us. You guys will see her gorgeous modeling pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Such a freaking beautiful, beautiful pictures of you. I mean, they're gorgeous.
Thank you.
And you're
My
welcome.
little girl loves to dress up, so thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. And it's so easy just to go on Instagram. You guys go on there right now, empowered_by us, or by_us, and then send her a message and just say, hey, I saw your interview. I would love your playlist. And then she'll know exactly what you're talking about. And then you can just go ahead and you'll be able to receive that and do some of these practices that she's mentioned here. What a beautiful gift for people to be able to really just like, you don't even have to come to the conference. I mean, we want you to come to the conference, ideally, right? But like, for example, some people aren't able to because they can't travel. Maybe it's too far distance, or maybe they have some prior obligation or whatever. Like, this is a way that you can still go ahead and connect with Rebekah and be able to get this beautiful playlist. Like, we would love for you guys to have it. And it is so good. And if you do get a chance to be able to listen through the whole thing, I mean, because it's pretty good. I would love to hear like which songs stood out to you the most. I know that I had a few that really stood out to me that I played on repeat while I was able to process some really like deep emotions, and it was powerful. I'd love to have you do a playlist for moms to their daughters too.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many good songs out there. I just love how you've really like done this whole compilation, this whole collection of them together for people. So thank you for doing that.
Of course.
Awesome. All right. So I would love to hear, what is the thing that you love about the Energy Healing Conference? Because there might be people watching right now that have never been before. And I'd love to have you share any tips that kind of stand out to you as well for them.
I think the thing that I love about it is I really do feel like there's something for everyone. Like, you've done such a great job at gathering so many people, speakers and vendors, right? Because like you said, there are some people that the way they learn and the way they want to absorb, like you said, is maybe a lecture, PowerPoint style, right? And there will be that there. And then there's people that are like me, and I'm like, oh, I want to interact, and I want to engage, and I want to move, and I want to connect. And then just even the vendors, there's so many like cool people to just meet. And so I think, like, if anything, especially like, I know sometimes it can be hard going to things like this. Like, one, if you're newer to energy healing, or maybe you just don't know anybody and you're going by yourself, like, everyone is so nice. So like, I would just say, like, just talk to people, talk to the vendors, talk to the people you sit next to in class. And like, that's for me, my favorite part is just the connection. Like, I love connecting with people and learning about people. And there's just so many, like, just beautiful souls, but also if you look at the vendor booths, just like gifted and talented and so many cool offerings. So yeah.
Absolutely. And come to think of it, you are going to be doing your own vendor space there. Tell us what's going to be happening there.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited. So you mentioned I also do human design readings. So Yeah, I am going to offer like a little mini and then an opportunity to, sign up later. And of course, you can also, talk to me about Reiki or somatics or any of those things too. But I feel like human design is becoming really, really popular right now. People are learning about it. People are very curious. It's been around, but like I feel like it's kind of getting momentum, and it's the thing that like a lot of people, that's been the request. A lot of people have come to me for human design readings recently. Like that's kind of been this newer request of people just really wanting to get into it. And I just love it because with anything, like, of course you have choice, but I love that it just gives you this like blueprint guide of the best way that your energy operates. And like, it has literally been a game changer for me in life and for parenting. You talked about like, like to know my children's design and to parent them accordingly. And even in relationships, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single and wanting to be in a relationship, like sometimes I have the joke with my friends and they'll be like, Rebekah, did you ask for their birth time and their birth date and their birthplace on the first date? And I'm like, sure did.
I sure did. It saves me some time and energy, baby.
But like really, it's just so helpful. And the cool thing is there's layers, right? Like with anything. And so when I do somebody's human design reading, I will give them like all this information, but I'll start on like there's 3 basic areas, like your energy type and and the best way for you to make decisions. And so those types of things that it's like, even if you are overwhelmed but can start looking at these 3 things, that's still going to make a difference in your life. And so it has been really, really powerful for me, like I said, personally and parenting. It's been one of the most impactful, I think, things to understand and just to apply. And it's also back to this, like, if you want to learn about it, like if you're a person that gets overwhelmed, like there's the people that go rabbit hole, right? And they're excited and they learn all the things, it's not overwhelming. And then sometimes there's those of us that get overwhelmed. And so even to invite the people that are overwhelmed, like if you're curious and it speaks to you, like baby steps is fine. Like, and I always tell people it's about practicing. Once you have the awareness of, oh, then you can just start practicing. And the thing that it did for me is like, there was actually parts of myself. So even if we're talking about like combining like inner child healing, there's parts of myself that I knew existed, but maybe it was against what the world said I should do, or the way the world said I should make decisions. For instance, you might not know what this means, but I'm what's called a sacral generator. So there's 2 things about that kind of go against the grain of what the world would maybe say, right? So a generator, the thing that I can do that's like the best for me is to follow my bliss and to do what lights me up, right? And there would be plenty of people in the world that would be like, Rebekah, you just can't follow your bliss. Like, that's not realistic, right? But how I feel like in my body and in my soul, when it's like a full body yes and I'm joyful, like it's such a different feeling. And I know that I'm like, okay, yes. And then sacral is that you make a decision. Like for me, it needs like a full body yes, and you make it in the moment, and sometimes it doesn't make sense, right? So again, if you're looking at the world, a lot of people be like, okay, well, no, you need to sleep on it. You need to make your pros and cons list. That's irresponsible to make a decision that doesn't make sense in the moment, right? So that's why I feel like it also just gives you permission to be maybe like, sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know. But for me, it was like, no, I knew those things, I think, in my soul, but it was like, it gave me permission to show up that way when it kind of goes against the grain of some of the things that we're told.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what? When you can get to know yourself and learn to trust yourself more, I think things just fall into place for you. And it's something, it's really beautiful. You just get to know yourself better. It helps you, it allows you to love yourself more. And that's what I've appreciated about human design, that, and also being able to connect with my daughters more. And, they're in their 20s and I'm learning a lot. I'm like, oh, as I'm reading their things. The night that you came to the retreat, my 25-year-old daughter, Aubrey, and we stayed up until 4:30 in the morning, literally devouring all of our human design information. We just couldn't get enough. And it's exciting, you know, it's inspiring to be able to connect with that. So you're a great resource for people to be able to start here, get to know that, what it is, and you can like give them the next steps, you know, the next pieces for that.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to go ahead and add with before we close today?
No, just I'm excited. And like you said, I would love for you to connect with me. Like you said, connect with me on Instagram, send me a message so I can send you that playlist. And if you come to the conference, for sure, like introduce yourself to me, come to the booth, come to the class, come say hi. I just love to connect. So I would love to meet you.
Okay, awesome. I can't wait to see you guys there as well. I've dropped some links down here in the comments, so please feel free to check it out. If you go to energyhealingconference.com, of course, you're going to see a tab that says Sandy. There's a huge drop-down menu. It makes it really easy for you to be able to find the schedule, the vendors, the speakers, literally the travel information. If you're traveling in from out of state, all of the details. There's even discounted hotel rooms available for the next week. So much to be able to choose from. All the details that you need are listed there. If you have any questions at all, I'm going to go ahead and put my phone number actually up across the screen here just to make sure that you guys have everything that you need. So if you have any questions at all, please let me know. We have about 5 vendor spots left. So if you know somebody that you think would really enjoy coming, that would be a good fit, let us know for sure. But we are excited to have you guys there. And honestly, you guys, if you can come to Rebekah's class, I highly recommend it. I personally have worked with her. And if you're worried that you have too much, like if somebody has said before you're too much and you're wondering like, who can I go to trust with all of this, right? She can handle a lot. And if you're not the right fit, she's empowered enough to say, hey, I'm maybe we're not the right fit. And she's got some great referrals that she can move you, you know, recommend for you. And so don't worry about that. But I recommend her for sure as somebody that I feel is a really amazing, trusted resource, especially if you have an inner child where you're like a soft child that feels like you didn't get what you needed. Or it could be that you're an angry, bratty teenager who pierced your nose when you got grounded and you were pissed. And so you played bush all night and pierced your nose and came out with the safety pin out of your nose. And I mean, sometimes they need healing too, but just in a different way. Oh, yes, I'm definitely speaking from personal experience. You're like, what are you talking about? So anyway, all right. I love you guys. We'll see you hopefully there at the conference. If not, well, we hope you see you soon. Anyway, Casey, yeah, thanks.